So I have a saying, and it's when you're in the trance, you're not doing the inner work. And when you're doing the inner work, you're not in the trance. And on that note, I was cleaning out my room the other day and I came across a card, which is now cut up, as you can see. But I kept the card for the simple reason the card is from the ex-narcissist, but I kept this card for the simple reason that I said to myself that I would do a video about it and talk about, the love bombing and, this really important factor about narcissistic abuse because, without the love bombing, I really don't think any of us would have ended up in this situation because it's the only way that, narcissists can do what they do to people, no matter who it is, a partner or a friend or, a family member or whoever it is, whoever the narcissist is in your life. And as I was reading this card, there was nothing in the card that was written to me. This was a birthday card, by the way. And there was nothing in the card that would suggest that that this person is a narcissist. What they call a covert narcissist. It's just a nice birthday message, says all the right things, it's flattering me, it's wishing me a happy birthday and saying other things about, the relationship. And that's really, I think that's really the whole idea, with these characters is that when you're in the love bombing phase, they say and do all the right things, and there's no reason, at that stage, to be, there might be a few things, the red flags starting to show, but there's nothing so alarming, that showing that to believe that, you're in a dangerous situation and that this person is, a predator who's about to completely destroy your life, over the next few years and onwards. And, so much of the recovery phase is really getting over the deception, and it's so hard to do, right? Because it's just, it's so far from, normal human psychology, how we interact with, normal people. It's so hard when you've been emotionally invested in someone and thought that what you had was, special and that they were your soulmate, and you just thought everything was perfect. And, they probably even said the word soulmate and perfect, but if you were to have met this person on the first date and they were to have shown you who they really are, and, when that mask drops eventually, if you'd seen that on the first date, you just wouldn't have signed up for what you went through, because no one would, even if they do have, other, stuff, like if they are a bit, don't have boundaries. But even a person with boundaries, on a first date would not sign up for, to be with a character like this and to have their entire life, destroyed, from narcissistic abuse and domestic violence. So 50% of this, getting out of the trance is radical acceptance, is accepting that they said all the right things and they did all the right things and they wrote in a card all the right things, but they were just a mask. They were just doing that in the moment because they had secured something that feeds the narcissist, that feeds their disorder. And it can be hard to reach that stage, but if you can reach that stage, the 50%, then you're half the way there. And the other 50% is, doing the inner work, because that's really so important, because as much as these people have their own stuff and they are, disordered and they're manipulators, we also do have to look at ourselves and ask, why did we stay in it for that long, with all the red flags and all of the abuse? And I do believe people do that. A lot of it is for the love bombing, because people just get so caught up in this idea of, who the abuser is from that initial, those initial days. But, if you can, accept that it wasn't real, and if you can also, work out why you didn't have boundaries when they started abusing you, because they all do it, they all, test the waters, and they see how far they can push. And, everyone that gets narcissistically abused, didn't have those boundaries and, that self-worth and self-love to stand up for themselves. And so that's the other 50% of the work, to, to come to understand, where that's been missing, and then to cultivate it in, within your being, so that, you do develop boundaries and you are connected to your intuition, and you build up self-worth and self-identity after going through something like this. So the love bombing, it has to be let go, the idea of who this person was, because it's not reality, it's not the truth. And when we don't want to accept that, when we don't want to accept that it wasn't real, then there's still parts within us that need growing up and attending to, so that, we can become adults in this and have that emotional maturity to fully accept all of it. And yeah, I just thought I'd share that. I know it's not easy, but there are a lot of people that pull through this, and I know that if you're stuck in the trance and the love bombing, that you can get there to the other side, to the 50%, and then to the 100%. So if you need any help with this, I do one-on-one counseling sessions, and we can work through all of the stuff that I've talked about in this video. All right, that's all for now.